Imagine a moment where a world leader publicly acknowledges the dark chapters of his country's past, especially when it comes to the struggle for independence in a neighboring nation. That's precisely what happened when French President Emmanuel Macron addressed Cameroonian President Paul Biya in a letter that was recently made public. But here's where it gets controversial. Macron admitted that France had waged a war against Cameroon's independence efforts, characterized by repressive violence in the years following World War II. This admission comes on the heels of an officially commissioned report published in January, which detailed France's brutal tactics in Cameroon. The report found that France had implemented mass forced displacement, interned hundreds of thousands of Cameroonians in camps, and supported brutal militias to suppress the Central African country's push for sovereignty. In his letter, Macron stated, "The historians of the Commission made it very clear that there was a war in Cameroon, during which the colonial authorities and the French army carried out repressive violence of several kinds in certain parts of the country. This conflict continued after 1960, when France supported the actions of the independent Cameroon authorities." Macron took responsibility for France's role in these events, acknowledging the need to set the historical record straight. This initiative began during his 2022 trip to Yaoundé, Cameroon's capital, when he announced the creation of a historical commission composed of both French and Cameroonian historians. The 14-person committee investigated France's involvement in Cameroon between 1945 and 1971, using declassified archives, eyewitness accounts, and field surveys. Most of Cameroon came under French rule in 1918 after Germany's defeat in World War I. However, a brutal conflict erupted when Cameroonians began pushing for independence following World War II, a movement France violently repressed. Between 1956 and 1961, France's fight against Cameroonian independence resulted in the loss of tens of thousands of lives and displaced hundreds of thousands of people. For many in France, this war went unnoticed, overshadowed by the French fight during Algeria's 1954 to 1962 War of Independence. Even after Cameroon gained independence in 1960, Paris remained deeply involved in its governance, working closely with the authoritarian government of Amadou Ahidjo, who ruled until 1982. Today, Cameroon's political landscape is dominated by President Paul Biya, who has been in office since 1982 and is now 92 years old, making him the world's oldest head of state. Biya will seek an 8th term in office in an upcoming presidential election in October. However, Cameroon's opposition faces significant challenges in challenging Biya's rule. Human Rights Watch and other groups have accused Biya of suppressing opponents. Recently, Cameroon's Constitutional Court rejected the candidacy of opposition leader Maurice Kamto, Biya's main opponent, in a decision Kamto called arbitrary. Macron's acknowledgement of France's past actions in Cameroon is a step towards reconciliation, but many argue that more needs to be done. He has taken tentative steps to address once taboo aspects of France's historical record, such as its role in the 1994 Rwandan genocide and its actions during Algeria's War of Independence. However, he has ruled out any official apology for torture and other abuses carried out by French troops in Algeria. This is the part most people miss. While Macron's admission is a significant step, the journey towards true reconciliation and understanding is far from over. What do you think? Should France offer an official apology for its past actions in Cameroon and other former colonies? Share your thoughts in the comments.